what's up, guys? It's me, Maria Melendez, founder and chief executive officer of Embrace Her Legacy. So this is going to be my last post of 2014. I won't be seeing you guys until next year, even though it's just a few weeks away. So in that vein, I wanted to share my top lessons of the year of 2014. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I stress writing things down, having a journal, and things of that nature because I believe, well, not necessarily I believe, it's been proven that writing things down have more power than we may think. For one thing about writing things down, it's the first physical manifestation of whatever idea or goal you have coming into manifestation into this world, right? Everything begins in thought form, but when you write it down, it's like, wow, this is really happening. It inspires you, it motivates you, right? And then two, another important thing about writing things down, whether it be your dreams, your visions, your journal entries, if you just simply reflecting upon how you feel, is that you get to go back into your journals and see how far you've come, what you've accomplished, what you didn't. And I myself, I have journals upon journals. I have dozens that I've just collected and wrote all up and through for the past few years. But I noticed that out of all the dozens of journals I have, I rarely go back into my journals, right, to see how far I've come or to witness my growth or anything like that. And it's because, sometimes we're so focused. I know this is not only me. We keep going and going that we forget to see how far we've come. So I made it my mission over the past few days to look over my 2014 journal just to see how I've grown, what I learned, and it's so interesting to see what happens. You get to see what you did do, what you didn't do, what you learned, what you failed at, how you were feeling emotionally during certain times, what you were grateful for. It's really amazing. So in that regard, I want to share with you my top 20 lessons, they were like 20 lessons actually, because I wrote, honestly, they were more like 30, and I had to narrow them down to about 10, because we know I love to talk. So my top 10 lessons of 2014, here we go. So number one, life goals are filled with remixes, and that's okay. I noticed this in my list of goals and action steps and things like that. I would start off with one goal, and then it would change over time, whether it be 3 months, 6 months down the line, because I would change, the circumstances would change, or my desire would change. So I say all of that to tell you that life is filled with surprises, and goals and your desires will change, and I like to call those remixes. And that's fine. So it's okay to just go with the flow. And just as long as you continue going to achieve whatever it is that you want to do, that's really what matters in the end. So embrace the remixes. Number two, working backwards works. I cannot stress this enough. I noticed, this is like an ongoing thing with me. I noticed that I always write down, my life vision, my goals, my best life, what I look like, what I'm wearing, where I'm living, all things that I'm doing in my life's perfect life, right? And it's like the optimal vision for my life. I would use that to motivate me to set and define my 5-year goals, my 1-year goals, my quarterly goals, and then my monthly goals, which those help me on my daily basis because I knew what end result I wanted, so I worked backwards from there. So think about the end result you want from your life, and whatever works, whatever you need to start working on today to achieve that optimal life in the end. Number 3, failures are not as bad as you may think. So if you're like me, you probably feel failure, right? If failure is like, I don't want to fail. Nobody wants to fail. But me, in all transparency, I've had quite a few failures this year. And prior to this year, I did not know the core strengths of my business. And, I had to go through some failures to acknowledge that and to learn the lessons. But now I know what I need to do, what I don't need to do in order to have my business grow and thrive. And you see, I could have feared failure, but what I've learned is that it's in our failures that sometimes they're the wombs for our greatest successes. Failing isn't fun. So you get back up and you figure out, okay, how do I bounce back from this? What did I learn from that? How can I now apply what I've learned to my future to achieve the success that I want to achieve? Number 4, you cannot expect the outcome of success without being committed to the process. Woo! Can I get a hallelujah on that one? That's really important. Sometimes we think that success happens overnight, but it's such a process. I know myself, I thought by now I'd be a billionaire, sailing on my yacht next to Oprah, somewhere in Capri somewhere. But it doesn't really happen that way. It's a process. And so many times we want the end result, success, without putting in the work. And those who achieve success are the ones who persevere and endure through the process. It is a process. It is not going to happen overnight. Number 5. This is a funny one. I'm a giraffe walking around a lot of turtles. Bishop T.D. Jakes shared this quote that I want to share with you. When you are a giraffe and you receive criticism from turtles, they are reporting the view from the level that they are on. There are a lot of turtles out here that want to tell us giraffes what to do, why it didn't work, blah, 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 blah. Never base a philosophy built off failure, number 1. And number 2, you have to recognize the turtles in your life. And you will endanger your position as a giraffe if you keep lowering your perspective to talk to some turtles. Let the turtles be the turtles. Recognize the turtles in your life, and you continue to stand tall and be the giraffe that you have been called to be. Number 6, dreams without goals remain dreams. Oh my gosh. Can't stress this. I cannot stress this any more than I probably already have. So many times we think that life is just supposed to happen, right? If I just win a millionaire, if I just win a lotto, and I just become a millionaire. No. Goals help you achieve whatever dreams it is that you have for your life. Goals are going to be the backbone of you achieving your dreams. Goals help life happen for you as opposed to life happening to you. And that is so important. If you don't have goals, you need to start writing some goals down and getting it together. Life is just not some fairy tale. You can make whatever that dream desire it is, you can make it happen. Number 7, one of my favorites. Both prosperity and poverty come in small increments. Oftentimes when we think of prosperity, right, we think of opulent, grand life, I'm a millionaire, life is all good, which can be true, but you work at that. So at poverty, little by little, day by day. Prosperity, what I've learned, is something that you work at daily. Little success after little success. Little achievement after little achievement. Little discipline after little discipline. And then it grows from there. And next thing you know, you are where you want to be. Same thing with poverty. Little failure after little failure after little failure, and you're not learning anything, and lack of discipline, falling off little by little. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with failure, but if you keep hitting the same point and then not doing anything to get yourself back up, it's little things like that, and next thing you know, you're in a situation 10 years down the line. So both poverty and prosperity come in small increments. What is wrong with me today? Number 8, you can't change the seasons in your life, but you can change yourself. That was the theme 2014 for me. In life sometimes we think it's always going to be easy, right? It's always going to be cheery, and it's not like that. I can't control when winter, spring, summer, fall happens. I can only adapt to the season that I'm in. Right now, it's winter. As much as I would love for it to be 90 degrees outside and to walk out with a summer dress, it's not. So I have to prepare. I have to adapt to the season that I am in. I can only change myself. I can't change my season. Sometimes we think that, we're in control of the opportunities. No, we're not in control if you're in the sowing season or if you're in a harvest season. You can only change yourself during the season and how you respond or react to it. You have to learn to prepare for the next season and prepare for the opportunity, but you're not necessarily in charge of when those doors will open or that opportunity comes. You're only responsible for you and how you change yourself. Number 9, profits are better than wages. Woo! Can I get an amen on that one? I want to read this quote by the late Jim Rohn that he shared. Wages will make you a living. Profits will make you a fortune. The rich invest their money first and spend the rest. The poor spend their money first and invest the rest. Completely changed my life. Again, we may think that prosperity is something that we may only get if we win the lotto. I know a lot of people who think like that. That's the only way they'll get to their dreams, but it doesn't happen that way. Little by little, it's what you do daily, right? It's not what you do. It's not how much money you make. It's what you do with the money. Don't get me wrong. Making more money is great. But if you are not good with $100, chances are you're not going to be good with 1,000 and with 10,000 or with 100,000. So profits are better than wages. It's about buying and selling. It's about knowing what to do with your money, investing the first 30% of your money, and then, spending the rest 70%. Now, if I can go into that further, but I know I don't want to spend too much of your time. So if you want to learn more about that, profits being better than wages and buying and selling and how to build your fortune in that regard, I want you to hear Jim Rohn's audiobook, Financial Independence. I believe they have it on Amazon.com. And you can go check that out. He's really, really, really helpful info. Number 10, rather the pain of discipline than the pain of regret. Probably the biggest one too. Sometimes being disciplined is not fun, right? Nobody likes to be disciplined, but discipline is great because the reward of discipline is usually long term. The reward of lack of discipline is usually like instant. You gotta know how to like shush and hush up the instant gratification and be disciplined. If you're not disciplined, you're not going to achieve the successes of your life. Whether it's discipline, your finances, your time, your emotion, you have to learn to be disciplined. And rather experience the long-term reward as opposed to short-term satisfaction, right? So if there's anything else that you learned is that keeping a journal is amazing. I hope you have an incredible holiday season and a happy new year. I have some amazing things coming up in 2015 and I can't wait to share with you. And, I hope that you took away something from my list. I'm so thankful that you let me speak into your life. And I'll see you next year. For more, visit EmbraceYourLegacy.com. Thanks.